giving all praises, honor, and glory to our Father Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises due. Double honors to our King and Shepherd, the KD of the Royal House of David, the Water King, for always edifying our family from the truth of the scriptures. The Water King, for everything that you do. The water for building the Royal House of David on the solid foundation of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All praises. Shalom, my Aquas. Shalom, Israel. Welcome to the Aquas channel, Daughters with Daggers, where we continuously seek edification from the truth of the scriptures. My name is Mahir Malachi. So we had a video that just posted about Power being undefeated. He is undefeated. And now we're going to get into Power. He's returning. He's coming back. So let's get into it. So when Power returns, he's coming back for a church that doesn't have a spot, a wrinkle, or any kind of blemish. So we're going to read from Matthew 24 tonight. So let's go to Matthew chapter 24, and we're going to start from verse 1, and we're going to read the entire chapter today. Okay, so this may be in one video, might have to split it in two, but we'll see where we're at once we go through it, okay? All praises. Let's get started, sisters. So Matthew chapter 24, and I'm at verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the temple. We're at verse 2. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So what Yahushua is talking about as he was walking with his disciples, he was pointing out, the different churches, the Baptists, the mosques, the Buddhists, the Catholic churches, every building that he was not a part of, that he would demolish and he was going to destroy them. Okay. So he was pointing out and letting them know, all of them that don't acknowledge me, all of them that don't believe in me, all of them that that doesn't have faith in me, all those buildings that preach, the other people, Jesus, everybody else, they will be demolished. So, and destroyed. Okay. So now let's go to verse 3. We're still at Matthew 24. Okay, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So the disciples are asking Yahushua here, when will this happen? And what signal will he provide in letting us know that he has returned and the end of the wicked, and this is the end of the wicked world has started. Okay, so they're asking for a sign. What do we need to look for to know that you're coming back, that you're here, that you're returning, and that this world is going to be ending? Okay, so now let's go to verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Verse 5, For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. I'm at verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. And verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is a warning. This is a warning for us as Israelites. This is our warning, right? That because he is not physically present, these are the things that we will experience today. And we're experiencing that, right? So we are able to see the bridges, the bridges being destroyed. We saw that. We saw the war in Israel. We see Gaza. China is over there in Taiwan. We have China and Russia at the border of Mexico. right now, the earthquake in Taiwan, the tsunami in Japan, the red moon, okay? And we were supposed to have the 3 days of darkness. However, if you look it up, China had created another sun. So we see that there's a lot of things, a lot of false things that are happening to deter us from thinking and knowing that our power is coming. They know that they read what we read. They read this word as well. So they're trying to do everything to deceive us, to deceive us during this time, right? So the money is losing its value. It's no longer going to be backed by the petrodollar. The money now with the BRICS nation is backed by gold and silver. So that's changed. They're going to be taking that over. Look at the price of food. Everything's increasing, food and gas. Think about the pestilences, the diseases, famine. We are here, okay? We are here. Everything that the signs, everything, the sorrows, we are here right now. We see this today. All praises. That means he's coming. That's the sign, okay? One of the signs. So let's go back to Matthew 24, and we're at verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray, and shall hate one another. Feel like your sisters. My phone started tripping. So I'm going to read Matthew 24 and 10 again. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, to the love of many shall wax cold. Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall come the end. All praises. New Living Translation for 14. And the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the whole world, so that all nations will hear it, and then the end will come. So we have been persecuted. We have watched our king and shepherd go to war with the Pharisees, Christians, 2/3, and heathens about the truth. And we've watched him come from the word, and we've read the word with him. And it clearly states to us what is going to transpire and what is going to happen, right? So we are hated, we're mocked and talked about because we believe and follow Yahweh Shai. People think we're crazy, right? We will and have lost friends, family members, because we have been woken up to the truth and knowledge, truth of who we really are, and we are the elect, and we are the daughters and princesses of the Most High. Okay, we have seen people fall under the pressure, and we're deceiving and we're deceiving us to thinking they were also doing the same in following Yahweh Shai, and they have been removed from the body. We have watched heathens and 2/3 reject our power. Okay, we see it and watch it every day. We will endure to the end, sisters. We have to. We have to endure to the end. We will be saved, okay? We will be taken out of here. We will be leaving this captivity. We will be out of here because we trust and have kept the faith in Yahweh Shai. We trust and we continue to keep the faith of Yahweh Shai. So now let's go back to verse 15. Matthew 24 and 15. When ye therefore shall see the abominations of desolation spoken of by the Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whosoever readeth it, let him understand. Okay. Verse 16. Then let them which he be in Judea flee into the mountains. Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Verse 18, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. Verse 19, and woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Verse 20, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh. There should no flesh be saved. Salah. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So he's speaking about the prophecies Daniel mentioned in Daniel. So I'm gonna go to some precepts of that just to show you the prophecies that he mentioned that are being fulfilled and have been fulfilled. So let's go to Daniel chapter 8, verse 13. Daniel chapter 8, verse 13. And it reads, in that day shall the fair, Salakia, I'm at the wrong person. Daniel chapter 8, verse 13. Okay. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? Okay, now let's go to the New Living Translation for that. Daniel 8 and 13. Then I heard two holy ones talking to each other. One of them asked, how long will the events of this vision last? How long will the rebellion that caused desecration stop the daily sacrifices? How long will the temple and heaven's army be trampled on? Okay, so this was a prophecy that Daniel was speaking on. So let's go to Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. And it reads, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So let's go to the New Living Translation. The ruler will make a treaty with the people for a period of 1 set of 7. But after half this time, he will put an end to the sacrifices and offerings. And as a climax to all his troubled deeds, he will set up sacrilegious object that causes desecration unto the fate decreed, for this defiler is finally poured out on him. Okay? Now let's go to Daniel chapter 11, verse 31. These are precepts. Daniel 11 and 31. And it reads, and arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that make desolate. Okay, now we'll go to verse 31 in New Living Translation. His army will take over the temple fortress, pollute the sanctuary, but put a stop to the daily sacrifices, and set up the sacrilegious object that causes desecration. Okay, so our last precept in Daniel is Daniel 12 and 11. So we're making a connection. And from the time that daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up there, shall be 1,290 days. Okay, New Living Translation. From the time the daily sacrifice is stopped and the sacrilegious object that causes desecration is set up to be worshipped, there will be 1,290 days. Okay, so those are the precepts to that. Let's go back to Matthew chapter 24. Okay, so we're going back there. Now, this wicked world is going to be destroyed, and no religion, supplies, or prepping. People have been doing these prepping. You got people creating bunkers. None of that will save them. It's not going to save them. This is a great tribulation, and it's going to be worse than anything that we have read about in the history of our Father's Word, because it is their end. Okay, it's their end and it's our beginning. So think about the things that has happened and they have created in this wicked world. So think about it. We have homosexuality, we have, molestation, we have rape, we have trafficking, we have people having sex with their animals, bestiality. We have, unfortunately, there are some parents having sex with their children. We have abuse, we have killing, slavery, children turning on their parents, killing their parents, parents turning on their children, and anything you can think of that is wicked, which is why this world has to go. Okay, now we have the AIs, we got robots, we got all kind of stuff that's happening, that's coming into this world, and it is wicked. It is just is doomed. Okay, and it's tiring to see, on a daily basis. So let's go to back to Matthew, and we're at verse 23. And Yahushua is still speaking, and he says, "Then, if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Hamashiach, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." Okay, verse 25. "Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold is the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not." Verse 27. "For as the lightning cometh at the east, and the shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Verse 28. "For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together." Verse 29. "Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken." Verse 30. "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Verse 31. "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the winds, four winds, Salah. They shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." Okay, so we were warned by Yahushua, our big brother, to not believe those who are saying that others are the Messiah. We have seen false messiahs and prophets rise and show signs and created wonders as to deceive us. Okay, example, Juanita Bynum. So I was the one to do it. I was in the world, you heard KD say this. I was there with them in it. And as a matter of fact, that's where we met. So I was at this conference. They called the God's Women Conference. And Juanita Bynum was big. You have Darlene Bishop. There was a lot of, these women that called themselves prophetess. I didn't know. I was so deceived. I didn't know what I was doing. And so when I went there, there was, a lady. It was crazy. So she didn't even read her own word. She had a reader. So when it came time to read the word, she'll say, "Read Psalms 23, read." And the person read, and then she'll preach. She didn't even read her own word. Okay, that's how crazy this was. Well, there was a lady in the front with a wheelchair. So you probably know where this is going. So the lady was in a wheelchair, of course, couldn't walk. Then all of a sudden you say, rise. She rise. She stood up. And guess what she took? She started walking around the whole building. People screaming like, oh, she could say, oh, God. You know, being deceived. Come on now. Okay, you done been to every doctor, now all of a sudden you can walk. Okay. So being deceived, being deceptive. And, you know, I witnessed that. And I knew then something wasn't right. You know, and then she started speaking in tongues. And coming in the Honda, you know, start speaking in tongues. And, you know, and I'm like, what are they saying? You know, I should have known something was up then. Because I'm like, what the heck? What are they saying? Sound like they, you know, some of these mumble rappers today. So, yeah. So that's what I've experienced. So being deceived by those, right? So when our Father Yahweh Shai comes this last time and final time, it won't be a secret. It's going to be known, okay? It will be obvious when he returns, okay? To the whole world would know. The whole world would know, even even nature. As you look around, nature is not the same. I'm looking at some bugs I've never seen before. Living in the desert, I'm driving. I don't know what kind of bugs these are. I've never seen these kind of bugs before. So it's like things is changing and nature is changing. The way that they're acting is changing. So they even know that the time is coming, that our power is coming back. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, we're going to see that day when it's time for us to get out of here. When it happens, there are going to be people weeping and they're going to be gnashing of teeth because they didn't believe us. Okay, and then they're going to know that we were truly the chosen ones. So let's go back to, we're going to verse 28. I want to read it again. Verse 28, where it says, for wheresoever the carcass is, there will be the eagles be gathered together. So just as gathering of vultures, right? Because if you read the New Living Translation, it says, just as the gathering of vultures show there is a carcass nearby, so these signs indicate that the end is near. So these are signs that indicate the end is near. So when you go to, if anyone's seen something dead and you see the vultures, you know, they start to circle. Even when it's not dead, when it's on the verge of dying, they still circle because they can smell that whatever it is, whether it's an animal, whatever it is on the verge of dying. They can smell it and they start to circle it and wait for it to perish. Okay, that's a sign. And we see vultures out here. It's been a lot of them. So just like you see that the sign of death, that's a sign of death for something's coming. It's going to be the same for when our power comes back, okay? We're going to start to see that. So now let's go back to verse 31. And we're still our big brother speaking to us. And he said, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Okay, so the chariots filled with angels will come any moment. Now with our Father Yahweh Shai to gather us, his chosen and elect from all over the world with his chariots. He's going to come. You're going to hear it. Like I said, the trumpets will sound. Okay, it's going to be a loud noise. It's going to be something that people cannot ignore. Okay, and that time is going to come. And it's going to happen. Our Father's word says so. So let's go to verse 32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. So Yahweh Shai is letting us know that when we all see these signs, the whole world would know that he's returning immediately. When, just as budding leaves on a fig tree is a signal that summer has arrived. Those events will indicate our Father Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai will return. Okay? Now let's go to verse 34. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all the things be fulfilled. So this generation is us, Israel. We will not pass from this scene. Okay? We will not pass. Okay? Just letting you know. Want to reiterate that. We will not pass. Verse 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. This world will be destroyed. However, the words of power will not disappear. His words still will be there. Okay? It still will be life. All praises. Verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Only power himself knows, which is why we know it's based off his signs, that it would be any moment, because we're seeing the signs. The things that he says that has to happen and that's going to happen, and showing it as a sign the time that he's coming back, we're seeing that today. Okay? Verse 37. But as the days of Noah, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Verse 40. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Verse 41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. So this time is going to be like the time of Noah. People are going on their trips. They're having parties. Hot girl summers. They're getting ready for hot girl summers. Functions, going to clubs. They're going about with life. They moving on. They just la 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 la. Sound like the I don't know if anybody know the Smurfs. Sound like the song on the Smurfs. La 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 la. They just their heads in the clouds. They're not seeing nothing that's happening. They are going by moving about, not knowing that the destruction that is going to happen until it happens. Okay. Some people don't believe, as some of my seasoned folks would say, fat meat is greasy. Okay. Until they see it. Okay. Some people have to see it in order to believe it. And by the time they do that, it'll be too late. When they see us all getting pulled up, when they see us all being taken up, and the earthquakes and the volcanoes start to destroy this world, if two men are working together in the field, only one will be taken and the other one will be left. If two women will be grinding at the mill or at the mill, grinding flour, one will be taken and one will be left. Okay, so that means not everybody's going. So when we read the word, some people have to be the people in there get left. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be us. Okay? Don't let you be that one person that gets left. Okay? Keep your mind and keep your thoughts. Change it, renew it every day. Every morning you get up, you got to renew your mind. You got to make sure, check your spirit, because you got to keep the faith. Okay? This world, when the devil and this enemy, he hears us. He knows we weren't reading the word. He knows who we are. So he's not going to mess with the 2/3 heathen. He already got them. He's going to do his job to try to get us. That's his job right now, is trying to get us, trying to deter us from making the finish line. Okay? He's trying to stop us. So it's up to us to not allow that happen by staying in our word, staying connected to the power, to our power, listening to our kings, if we have kings, edifying with our, listening to our shepherd. We have to make sure that we're doing those things. because that, you know, it's a spiritual war. It's not carnal. Okay, we can't fight it. Only our power can. Okay, so let's go to verse 42. Watch therefore, ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to post this, and then it's going to be a short part 2. We're going to start back at verse 42. So I'm going to stop it here. Sisters, I love you. I'll be right back because I don't want to have this too long. You know, there have been people that do videos for 2 hours. So I'm going to break this up. So I love you. I'll be right back to give you part 2. Shalom, my beautiful sisters.